Good day, good day, good day. Thank you for tuning in to Truth and Purpose Nexus. As always, it's your boy, Truth, also known as Truth is Never Favorite. In this season and time, my name is Amago Day. Please like, subscribe, and share if you will be so kindly. And support the show by hitting my Cash App. The Cash App is on the bottom scroll bar, $MIGUELUILI. All financial support will go to my family in the church that will fortify. If you cannot, just like, share, and subbing, and making a comment in the chat or comment afterwards, that would promote the channel and give it some type of traction. That will be greatly appreciated as well. Okay. As always, on this channel, we're going to promote God, family, longevity, and legacy. The promotion of the family coming together. God, man, woman, child. Okay? Not division, not divorce. Unification, unity, unify. That's what we do over here. All right. And most importantly, the beginning of that is making sure that we acquire a authentic, intimate relationship with God through Jesus Christ by the Holy Spirit, where we know God as Father. Okay? That is the most essential thing you can do in your lifetime, the most important. If you do not have that, from my POV, there is not success ahead in your life. And I'm not talking about by the world standards. I'm talking about by creational standards, purpose standards. Okay? By God's will and power and purpose standards. So, the title of today's show is We Can't Blame Women as a Collective No More. Now, for the last about to be 2 years, I have far removed myself from the collective of Black men because of their ideology, their onset, their non-accountability, non-integrity, and most importantly, no moral foundation, especially when it comes to God. They're expecting women to do things that they themselves will not do. Okay? We can't blame them no more at all. So we need to try a new grift, a new narrative, something different. It's got to be something different. Hopefully you guys have seen the debate between Mr. Andrew Wilson and Mr. Coach Greg Adams. I pray that you guys have seen it. If you haven't seen it, please go and watch it. It is very enlightening, and it identifies completely what the problem is. Not only by default, when something ends in failure, it is the man's fault, but it is clear to see that we are the problem. I watched someone that I guess YouTube congregations and gatherings and populists would say that Coach Greg Adams is an intellect. He's smart, he's educational, he's wise. That's what they will say. From what I saw on that debate, that is the contrary. That man could not stay on subject matter at all. And he repeated the same 15 to 20 words with every segue that they presented, every subject they presented. He said the same thing, along with ad hominems and name calling tactics. That right there is the most effeminate, and it's not women behavior. I don't call it women behavior no more. That is the most trans homosexual behavior I have ever seen in my life. And we are wondering why women are doing the things they're doing and don't want our black tails. That debate was a Sherbert show, okay? Y'all love to be in this hatred format of a racial competition. And that was a black man versus a white man. And guess what? Objectively looking at it, excuse my French, because I'm gonna have to say this. We got the living shit beat out of us. There was a clear domination in intellect, wisdom, knowledge, vernacular, articulation, presentation of their debate. What's the right word? The point where they were coming from. Again, excuse my French because I'm gonna have to say this because I've been working on trying to work on my me using less vulgar language, but just for this because it is very serious. Andrew Wilson on the debate forum beat the living shit out of Greg Adams. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. In that arena, the white man was superior to y'all black ass. It is disgusting to look at. Like, I done watched it 3 times and I had to watch it again because just in case I didn't like what I was seeing was I didn't see what I see. Yes, the hell I did. Who the hell is subscribed to him and are following anything that man is saying? He is dumb as shit. Y'all make us look like we just dumb as a motherfucker, yo. Like you can't be that dumb. It's not even possible. Our leadership for our community is fucked. That is why our community is the way it is. It ain't no damn black women, nothing. It's these black ass men out here screwing us up. Because first and foremost, y'all want to be in leadership and y'all dumb as a motherfucker, man. Y'all are dumb. The fuck? That shit was disgusting to look at. And any of you black dumbasses is on Coach Greg's side. Y'all dumb as hell with his black ass too, man. That shit was dumb. Bro, I apologize, G. Chop, I apologize. Bro, if you get a chance to go look at it, it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting, yo. Yo, it make you embarrassed to be even a so like, yo, no, I'm not a yo, don't put me in that category with none of them. I'm not even playing. I'm not playing at all. Stop saying that we all manosphere, we all red pill, all that because I believe in tradition. No, the hell, that shit is a disease. That is a dumbass disease. A disease of a dumbass. You funny, Chop. Yeah, listen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. It is, bro. It is so embarrassing. If you get it, please look at it. Like I had to go watch it for the third time because I could not believe. Yo, why are y'all allowing these dumb ass bastards to speak for us? Y'all make us look crazy against other races, and then y'all want to make this divide to try to make them seem like the enemy and all this type of stuff. If they the enemy, they smarter than us. And I ain't saying us no damn more. They smarter than y'all black ass. Cause that no. Yo, yo, I couldn't believe this. I could not believe this, G. I just can't believe it. Bro, please, if you get a chance, please go look at it. It is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen in my life. Don't y'all dumbasses come on here blame not never woman ever about shit. You can't. She shouldn't be with your black ass. You're dumb. You're gonna lead her straight to hell. Y'all come on here and I guess make a name for yourself by saying a whole bunch of damn words. And you got all the dumbest people of the black community on this bitch. And they believe that you're saying something. When this bastard ain't say a damn thing. He didn't even know what the fuck. He didn't even know what shit mean. He didn't know what incoherent mean. He didn't know what premise means. He didn't know what else. He didn't know what was the other one he didn't know? He didn't know shit, yo. Debate, and this is what I noticed. Y'all don't know what a debate form is at all. Y'all think whoever yells the most, say the most obscenities, ad hominems, and say any damn thing that comes to your damn mind or say a damn number without any contextual referencing at all. It don't even have to make sense. We just throw together, and because it's the words in a sentence, you believe that you won. Or you believe because you're showing emotion that you are more expressive that you won. Yo, he showed his ass like he was a little child. Like it was bro, that why are y'all allowing yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. Don't say nothing about no damn community no more, man. The community is screwed because you niggas will not get rid of these goddamn so-called leaders that y'all put in these damn seats. If y'all niggas ain't subscribed to that little ass nigga by now, Y'all are dumb. Yo, that show what the problem is. And Brother Von Bryant, I'm prefacing right now. Excuse me for my language. Brother, please. Tomorrow it won't be that way. I'm tomorrow won't, but right now, this is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen in my life. Ladies, I want you to ask any man that you involve yourself with or have a conversation with and say, by chance, do you know who Coach Greg Adams is? Yeah, I know who he is. Do you support him? Do you agree with any of his content? If their black ass says yes, ladies, hang up and block the shit out of them. You don't want anybody to cause you to be dumb as shit. I know, and that's why I said it's a big cut, brother. That's why I said, please forgive me. Please forgive me. That's why I said, please forgive me. That's why I'm asking. I'm because if you guys get a chance to, please watch that debate. I don't want us blaming no other woman, no black woman, nothing, until y'all get these people that y'all worship and deify the fuck out of here. The black woman ain't do shit. Y'all black asses did it. These dumbass leaders that y'all have in the front, that y'all are following, they are the one that fucked up everything. Don't blame no one. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. A woman ain't do shit. They ain't do nothing. I don't want to hear about, the divorce rate is 80. They should divorce your dumbass if you believe what he said. If you talk like that, if you reason like that, if you think like that. They need to divorce your ass the second day that you open your mouth and you sound like that nigga. The fuck? Talking about black women are bad and they the bane of our existence and they're our enemy and they're the reason why the community. No, the hell they're not. No. Miss Tiffany, I'm sorry. Once again, anybody that come in, please forgive me for the language, because I am very disturbed at us as men. This was the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. We cannot ever say anything about you guys, black women, anything. I couldn't believe what I was watching. The leader of what? Bro, my daggone children are by far smarter than you, by far more intelligent than you. You're right. You're right, Von Bryant. You're right. God, you know what? God forgive me. 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 Yeah, absolutely right. No excuse. You're right. Anyone that come in, please forgive me for the language I said. I'm gonna cut it out right now. Excuse me. Let me tone it back. All right. I've been on here for almost 6 years, and when I first came in here, the first thing that I'm thinking, the way the men are talking, they want marriage. They want to be with women. They love women. They want children. They want family. But it got so hard out here because the culture changed. the way women think changed and everything. And I agree that the culture and the way women think it has changed. The biggest problem that I'm having is, though, the people that are complaining, the way they think and reason in their minds, it's not indicative of success in a relationship. They're not even trying to get success. They're not trying. Just listen to them. What are you saying that means men and women coming together as a family and we're going till death do us part? The subject, let me read y'all the title of the show. The subject matter of the debate. It says, is marriage worth it? So if that's the subject matter, right? Is marriage worth it? Why are you talking about divorce when marriage and divorce are not the same, cannot occupy the same space, means totally two different things? Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Tiffany. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I apologize. You too, Mr. Bryant, and you too, Chop. I apologize. That's why I'm not going to do it no more. So then you hear the people that's speaking for us. Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, AMS, Coach Greg Adams. You know, I'm hearing all of these guys, and then I'm listening to what they're saying. And then I'm like, okay, there is some semblance of facts in there. But okay, so it's not about what about the men, it's about, okay, how do we fix it? And then when I hear them speak, it then turned from relationships, them talking about men can't get women to marry them, to then the underlying cause is they're having trouble getting sex from women. You got one group saying, don't worry about getting in a relationship with a woman unless you have sex with 50 women. That is the minimum. You got another person that came on here and said women are average at best. And all these particulars, all these rule books. And then somebody found out that that man ain't even average. He literally faked it till he made it. He made a statement, had a video, and went viral, and then that took him off. How do you have people talking about masculinity personified and giving them the deification as Godfather, but they came on here and told you, I myself was raised by 3 women my whole life. My mother and my 2 aunts, my mother's sisters. Want to talk so bad about women, got leveled up because of the things he said to women, how he responded to them, and basically the guys was living vicariously through him. The things he was saying to women, you hear them roaring, and then when you ask them, "Are you able?" No, ain't no woman gonna allow you to lead or win an argument or any of those things. You can't just go into any relationship and tell her, that she need to be quiet or to sit down or listen or anything. So the very thing that he's telling you to do, or that he's showing that he's doing, you're saying it's not even possible to do it, but you're cheering him on. So that means you want to be able to do it, but you ain't got the kahunas to do it. You ain't got the wherewithal to do it. And I'm trying to understand. Then you go down the line, and then you have married men come on here, right? And they're speaking negatively against marriage. Something that you say you're flourishing in is doing great. But you're speaking negatively about women. Okay, how can you speak about something that you're not even experiencing? You can acknowledge it happened, but excuse me, the way you're speaking about it as if you're going through it, like the horrible behavior, the language, the words. You're speaking as if you're living that out in your marriage, but you say you're not going through that. Everybody on the panel, if you ask them, "Oh no, I'm not having trouble with women. I'm not having trouble in my marriage. I'm not I get women to do whatever I want them to do. I can get, box, I can get women, I can get relationships, I can be married if I want to." Okay, so then if you have the world at your backing, what is the problem then? Because you got it made. I'm just speaking for the other guy. So Jack says he's speaking for Jason. Jason said he's speaking for Vincent. Vincent said he's speaking for Mark. Mark says he's speaking for Bob. But none of them having problem with women. None of them. And then we got these guys in the leadership position on here. And now you have a black man versus a white man. And y'all the ones that preach this division. The white people is swear they better than us. They hate us and all this type of stuff. Y'all preach this. Y'all preach this hatred. Y'all preach this racism. Y'all preach this division. The white man ain't better than us. That's what y'all say. Well, on that day, in that debate, if some aliens came down and said that's a white man and a black man, the aliens would say that white man beat the living dog sherbet out of that black man intellectually in the debate forum. They were supposed to talk about what would mitigate the risk of having divorce and make your chances of marriage higher. He kept saying, okay, well, what could make that even better? You know, there's nothing in this world that's ever going to be 100%. You do know that, right? Please tell me you have the common sense to understand that, black man. So we don't have to say something that's going to be perfect. We don't have to say, oh, you can't take away 100% of the risk of getting divorced. That don't exist nowhere on this planet. It has never had since time immemorial, since now, and nor in the future to come. It will never be nothing perfect. So let's stop saying that. It will never be nothing 100%. So stop saying, oh, this ain't 100%. Bro, we not moving as men at all. At all. And you guys wondering why the women on here are talking to us like they talking to us. They talking to us like we're on their level or lower because our brain, our speech, our response, our movements say that we are. I can name 3 women if they were coming towards to promote the reason why is marriage worth it, they would have had better arguments than him. They would have had a better position than him. Women, don't y'all come on here speaking for us no more, man. Get off of here. Don't talk about marriage no more unless you have one, man. If you don't want marriage, because I'll be hearing you guys say, I don't want no marriage. Stop talking about it then. I don't talk about nothing I don't want. It's okay to acknowledge and address caution. It's okay to acknowledge that there are issues. Acknowledgement doesn't mean murmuring, complaining. Acknowledgement does not mean you don't hold yourself accountable first before you address anybody else. Bro, if you can't stand up amongst other men, and this is what I was talking about. He was in the forum with another man, and he looked and sounded like a child. Stuttering, repeating the same thing, ad hominem attacks, the same thing that we get upset at women for doing. Y'all talk about women behavior so bad that you guys act worse than them. Yo, this is, man, don't come talking about no daggone community or nothing. Don't say that the black woman messed up the community. That's not what happened. And we don't have to state the obvious. Does she have any contributing factors that add to the decline of the community? Yes, that's the obvious. We don't need to talk about that. What is the real, literal problem that if we change it, it will start to change everything? Men need to be men. And if you can't even hold your ground to recognize and at least give a logical, like how y'all say, and please don't come on here saying all men are logical, no daggone more, man. Y'all need no. No. We that ship has sailed. That's done. That's done. Y'all think y'all could come on here, get some coins, put on a suit and tie, or groom yourself better, get a whole bunch of equipment, get a whole bunch of subscribers, and then because those idiots agree with you and they want to flock and put like a cult mindset to you, you believe what you're saying is the actual truth and you're not the problem. That is a lie from the pit of hell itself. I legitimately asked y'all, bro, okay, so women have horrible behavior, right? Whorish and harlot-like, right? And you don't like that about them, right? Okay, so a woman that is a known harlot, you're not going to touch her, right? Even sexually, right? Oh, no. I'm not saying that. You know, I am a man. What? You know, my natural proclivity, the nature of a man. I have to, even though I don't like her, even though I find her behavior disgusting and distasteful and not womanlike and not like my grandmother or my mother, but I have to take my finger and penetrate her because that's what a man, that's what all of us would. No, all of us wouldn't. No, we all would not. Stop doing this. Oh, yes, we all would. Yes, you would too. You're no different. Yeah, yes, I am. Yes, yes. And not just me, it's a lot of brothers out here different. They're not going to do it. Why am I going to touch something I don't like? Do you know, like, and that's how I can tell when you guys say you get into it, like you these gigolos and pimps and bagging all these women and screwing all of them. That's how I know you're not, because of the desperation factor, the non-familiarity about the situation. You know, when you do something over and over and over and over and over again, to that extent, it becomes less appealing. It becomes mundane. No, what's happening is majority of you guys were lames, cornballs, and unattractive to women, and you think because now you have came into the age of yourself where you're making large sums of money, and now because we have a subsect of women saying, hey, you got some coins, you can play, and then you think that will allow you to have access to the women that did not like you from before. Guess what? The money is not going to make them like you. It makes them now start thinking of, okay, now I'm going to use my gift of manipulation because he has coins that I'm going to take and I don't want him. I don't like him. I'm going to use him for what he's promoting and pushing out there. He wants my time, my presence now comes with a dollar value for him. If he was the guy I actually like, the guy I actually want to love, the guy I actually find attractive, then she's not going to place no charge to you to be in her presence. She's going to feel blessed enough to be around you, blessed enough to say, hey, I actually want to like you. I want to be a friend. I want you around. I think you're intelligent. I think you're smart. I think you're witty. I think you have charisma. I love your bravado. I love how you smell. I love how you laugh. I love your smile. She likes you, so she's going to want you actually around. Oh, hey, Momo. Good to see you, sweetheart. Hope you are well. Yeah, women are actually going to want you around. But we're not blaming women, black women, no more. That I don't want to hear it. And y'all already mad at me because I have far stopped doing that. Because see, I wasn't blaming them. I was saying that I acknowledge and that these are there are instances where there are problematic tendencies that they have in a small sector of women that are problems. But we have the Tiffany's, we have the Momos, we have a lot of different women out here that earnestly are being better women, first for themselves, not for us, for themselves. And then that will make us a more attracted to them. But you guys, I even said this. I said, if you got the woman that you want a woman that could cook, clean, smell good, look good, love you, like you, give you beautiful children, want to be married. What would you do with her if you got her? And then they give you all some type of crazy answer. And you see, oh, but I don't believe that, that woman exists. She is so many of them out here that aren't that way. That's not what I asked you. And I said, since you gave me the answer, I know what you would do. You would screw her up. You know why? Because you're worried about her changing and her doing something better for herself and her becoming something better. You think she's supposed to be better for you when she's supposed to be better for herself. And vice versa. We are supposed to be better for ourselves. We are supposed to be circumspectly about our behavior, our mindset, us acquiring knowledge, wisdom, getting understanding, becoming better men, searching for the keys of life and mastery, self-mastery. We're supposed to want that. Not for women. They will be a byproduct of that we're mastering self because it will make us more attractive to them. What I saw on that stage was the most disgusting thing I have ever seen in my life. It was an embarrassment. Let's see what Brother Bryant says. Brother Bryant said, if anything, we should support and edify women, not undermine them and degrade them. I've never known this type of ignorance until I got on. Sir, you are 1000% correct. I have never seen, and I'm not saying that I don't have my ways about me, but to that extent, no. No. You wouldn't. I know for a fact that me acquiring the woman that I have and loving, and she's doing what I asked her to do, I would not mess that up. I'm not going to mess that up. What up, ADS? If you guys agree with Coach Greg Adams, please do not ever out of your mouth say anything about a woman, let alone a black woman. And ladies, I need you to earnestly ask them, do they agree with Kevin Samuels? And do they agree with Coach Greg Adams? If the men say yes, and they get all excited, you guys are to remove yourself from that gentleman. Okay? Because he has to grow up. What I saw, and I'll keep saying what I saw, because it was so alarming, because I know that, hold on, let me just share you, tell you guys this. Let me just show you guys this part. Let me not show you. Let me explain how many subscribers he has. He has 240,000 subscribers. And you can bet that majority of those subscribers are men. Once again, for the idiots, I'm not worried about him acquiring those subscribers. I'm glad he was able to be successful on YouTube. Yay. Business-wise successful, yay, that's good. It's nothing wrong with that. The problem is what he is talking about is having a negative effect, because his mindset and approach to it is not something for us to win. It is doom, gloom, and failure. He literally, Mr. Wilson asked Mr. Adams, give me one solution that helps mitigate risk and increases our chances to have a successful marriage. Give me one solution that helps the Black community galvanize themselves, grow, and come together and get rid of the problems that plague us. That's what the Black man and the Black community said, that speaks for us so fervently, so authoritative, speaks as if his word is what we should be following. Speaks as if he has all the answers. Guess what he openly said? And I'm glad he told the truth. He said, do you think if Malcolm and Martin Luther King, Farrakhan, any of those guys, the great leaders of the Black community, has not solved those problems and have an answer and a solution for those problems, that you can solve them, Mr. Wilson? Mr. Wilson said, I'm going to ask you again, what is your solution? I'm not talking about Martin Luther. I'm not talking about Malcolm X. I'm not talking about Farrakhan. I'm talking about you. He said they don't have the answers. Neither do I. If you don't have at least a sensible, tangible solution that we can use for purposeful application in our daily lives, why the freak are you talking then? Why are you talking like you got the answers for us? And I'm glad you openly admit it. And I hope everybody hear that. He doesn't have the answers, so why are y'all going to him like you have the answers? Which means y'all not going for solutions. Y'all not going to make things better, to make yourself better, to have a better chance and more successful. Basically, you told on yourself. You told on yourself. You don't want success. You don't want a decent woman. You don't want a great marriage. You don't want longevity. You don't want legacy. You don't want family. You're not striving to get these things. You're not willing to work on where you have messed up and say, you know what? I recognize that. Guess what? I'm going to change it from now on. I can't take back what I did, but I'm going to change it from this day forward. This day forward. And you can always tell where God is and isn't. And guess what Mr. Wilson did? He kept giving him the solution. How about we honor the ecclesiastical church and referencing? How about we follow the Bible? How about we be authentic Christians and let the church environment and the family and village make sure that when we marry, we stay together? How about we adopt that institution? Once again, this is a man that talked bad about women. Guess what his response is? That is make-believe. That is not reality. That is not something all of us can do. When did he say all of us is going to adopt that mindset? We're talking about the people that want to be successful. If somebody gave me a solution to a problem when I don't have it, guess what? I'm not going to tell them that solution is wrong. I don't even have one. I don't have one at all. So how in the freak does it make any sense, common sense wise? I want y'all to listen to this part. Common sense wise, I don't have a solution, right? So I don't have anything to give. How am I going to not your solution when you at least have one to give? How about common sense wise? I acknowledge your solution, and then let's use it tangibly to see if it works. Let's see if it works. Okay, I just got finished trying to put that dresser together. I can't do it. Okay, Truth, how about this? Okay. You know what? I done struggled for hours trying to put that dresser together. You know what? Regardless whether I give it or somebody else give it, I just want to accomplish my task by putting the dresser together. I have no ego in the matter. Okay, you know what? Let's try it with. Let's see if it can work that way. You know why he didn't acknowledge it? Because inwardly he knew it would work. All the data proves that when we were living for God, when we was doing things God's way, when the church was involved in our lives and making us hold to the standard, guess what? Our marriage rate skyrocketed. So the data, y'all love data, y'all love numbers. The data says with God, marriage and family is successful. Very simple, common sense, but you don't want it that way. Why? Because you don't have God. Simple. You don't have him within you. You don't want no parts of him. You want to do it your way. You want to do it without him. And he kept saying it. How about not your sky daddy? How about let's do it? What did he say? Secular, I think he said. And Mr. Wilson said, when has a secular marriage or relationship ever been relevant? Ever produced anything of substance? It doesn't have no backing because of that marriage was built in a directive, in a covenant, in a design by God. It's supposed to actually bring you closer to him, hold you accountable to your word, to fight for something greater than yourself, and then outwardly produce a legacy and a lineage that continues on. The way when you do it without God, what does it do? Lead to divorce on a high rate, and also it doesn't produce family quality, great children, a thriving community, and something that breeds through generations. So y'all men claim to be so logical. What is the logical choice to do? Do it God's way or your way? Logically. Because logic has nothing to do with your ego or your arrogance or your pride, right? It's about the mind, right? We claim to be more smarter than women, right? So why, when it's time to actually exert your intelligence, why do you seem so, yo? You know, I'm trying to tell you, I have never seen nothing like this ever in my life until I came on YouTube. And this is why I am removing myself from this space because something is wrong. And I'm tired of it affecting me in a negative way because I don't want to be that dumb. No, I am not the sharpest tool in the shed, okay? I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I can cut a little bit. You fools are dull. You need a sharpening stone, okay? You are dull as anything. Your cut is not going to be clean. Your tool is all rusted, ready to fall apart, has no consistency, and will not get the job done. But you're on here talking so heavy. Like what you have for us is good for us. Don't talk for us no more. And the people that's in my chat right now, guess what they're going to do? They're going to let God talk for us. That's who speak for us. You fools don't talk for us no more. And Dad going to sure don't talk about our women no more at all. Because you're not the leader of our women. God is. Christ is. The Bible directs them. That's who direct them. And the brothers that love them, that love our sisters, that follow the word, we will direct them. Because then you know what we're going to do where we fall short at? Because I fall short. I get in my way. But the one thing I do recognize when somebody say, hey, truth, you know, just like Brother Brian just did. Let's scroll up. See, this is what men do. This is how we love each other. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you how men of God love each other. Look how he came in. Greetings, peace, joy, and grace in abundance. The language is a bit colorful, but I am here, my brother. Let the Lord use you. Don't let the devil get the victory. You see that? And once he said that, I tailored my speech. Why? Because it's the truth. No ego, no arrogance, no pride. Because it's not my way. He's right. You see that? Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Praise God. Nothing more beautiful than that word. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Y'all don't speak for us. Y'all don't speak for the men of God. Y'all don't speak for our women. Y'all don't speak for no woman. Because y'all don't have nothing good for them at all. You don't want nothing good for them. You didn't say anything of any substance that will lead to us loving each other. Nothing. You basically said there is no absolution in having a great marriage. But the way you were speaking, that there was absolution in a guaranteed divorce. You don't see what's wrong with that there? You don't see that, do you? You don't see the hypocrisy? You asked the man to give you a solution, to give you a way to make things better, and he gave it to you. But because it's not what you want to do or what you believe, when you don't even have anything, you call that man a fool, along with other names that I'm not going to say on here for no reason. For no reason. Y'all want to complain about, the solution-based game, the wild wake-up show, and them calling y'all lovers of men or rim bros and everything like that. No, I don't have to call you guys that. But is what they're saying really far from the truth? I don't hear the ecstatic, the excitement about loving a woman, how beautiful they are, how great they smell, how fun they are to be with, how they make you laugh, how it's nothing like that on this planet, how God gave them to us, because that's actually what was inside of us, our desire. And he pulled our desire, what we wanted outside of us, and molded it into all these beautiful women that we see on here. And guess what? The only thing you have to offer her or to think about doing with her is just try to screw her. That's it. There was a show actually done on a channel where the question was, what else is a woman good for other than her, her genitalia? And you guys actually openly and earnestly said there is nothing that a woman has to offer other than her bottom hind parts. And you can't see that you're the problem. And unless you're a daggone fool, none of you will allow another man to stand in your face and tell you that your grandmother, your mother, your wife, or your daughter are nothing good or worth anything. Worthless life other than their bottom of their hind parts. You wouldn't allow no man to say something like that. But y'all came on here and actually said that. Now, unless you're a coward and not a man, you probably would allow a man to say that to you. The schizophrenic nature and behavior that we are displaying as men and the insanity of it all is very disgraceful, man. And I had to make it abundantly clear that please don't put me in the same group. You might don't like some of the things that I say. You don't like the way how I present it, but I do not look at women how they do. I do not think of women how they think of. I earnestly actually love women, especially Black women. I just prefer decent, God-fearing Black women. Yes, I love my sisters more, the body of Christ, the church family. I prefer to be around them. I prefer to speak to them, the ones that are trying to do what's right. the one that doesn't display an unseemly behavior. They're not trying to make themselves seem sexual or promiscuous or having succubus or sovereign like tendencies or anything like that filthiness. No, they keep themselves kept. You don't see them trying to be demonstrative or overbearing to a man. You don't see none of that. I can earnestly say the women that are in this chat, I have never seen them do that with a man ever, not even once. And so far, I have never seen them try to promote themselves in a sexual, promiscuous, unseemly behavior. I haven't. If you have, then maybe you can present that, but I haven't. And I appreciate the fact that they do hold themselves to that standard, because we need more of that example to rub off on the other women. But most importantly, us as men, we got to be better. I have to be better. The difference is I'm trying to be. I want to be. I'm moving towards getting greater in all aspects of life. I have 3 children that are going to be looking at me as an image and an example for how they move and choose in life. Five altogether. I was talking about 3 biological, 5 altogether. What they see me do, the girls is going to say, okay, I need to find a man like Daddy or D2. And my sons, I have a 19-year-old and I have a 5-month-old baby boy. And that little man, he got my heart. I ain't gonna hold you. And I want to make sure for all of them that my boys, they say, oh, I see Daddy, so Daddy, this is what it means to be a man. Daddy, right? The way he walked, the way he talked, the way he dressed, how he works. And then what's the most important thing? How he treats mommy. How he treats, the other women that I see him interacting with, the other, sisters at church, aunts, cousins, grandmothers, mother. All of this is relevant and important. We say we want better, but we're not trying to do better. We're not. Can you earnestly say at the beginning of 2025, we're closing out now, you are different? Can you earnestly say that? Can you write down a couple of things and say, hey, you know what? These things I was struggling on in the beginning and I have improved on now. These are some things that I learned. We can't blame women no more, man. That going into 2026, we got to find something else. And us as men, the ones that claim to be men of God, when we hear this fashion being presented, women are the problem. But what about the women? We need to immediately say, hey, we ain't trying to hear that. We got to figure something else out. It's not women change. How about we be the change that we want to see, and how about they replicate it from us? How about we be a living example? We don't want promiscuous women. How about we stop being promiscuous men? We want loyal women. How about we be loyal men? We want women that's committed. How about we be committed men? We want women to love us and to like us. How about we be likable and lovable? We want women that dress like they're kept and wholesome and classic and classy. How about we dress that way? We want women to be better parents and more attentive to our children. How about we do it? How about we show them how to do that? And our favorite word, accountability. Cooperation, submission. How about we show them by acknowledging what we did wrong first and what we need to change immediately? How about we show them what responsibility looks like by any mess that we take on, anything we commit to, we actually be responsible for it. We don't try to advocate responsibility to somebody else. And submission, we want it, right? We want a woman to submit to our words, our actions. We want them to understand the power in their femininity, and that submission is not weakness, is actually showing that the power that you have to relinquish that power for something greater than yourself. What's the key word? Relinquish your power for something greater than yourself, right? The family, right? Okay, men, how about we relinquish our arrogance, our pride, our ego for something greater than ourselves? Let's put Jesus on his rightful place on our heart. Let's 100% submit to God, because we know we can't serve two masters. How about that? How about we be the living embodiment and our lifestyle represents submission to God? And now they can say, wow, he prays, he reads, he speaks, he's moving, he's growing. And now they have something to follow. Oh, he submitted to something. You know what? How about I follow suit to you? You submit to God, I got you. I'll submit to you. Because I know that power upholds and governs who you are. So I'll follow suit as unto that God that you follow. I'm following the same God you doing by listening to the God say, follow that man. You know the divine order y'all love to say, God, Jesus, man, woman, child. That's a line of submission right there. Jesus is submitted to God. Who is man submitted to? Jesus. Who's the woman submitted to? Man. Who the child submitted to? Woman, right? So if the man is not submitted to Jesus, should she be submitted to the man? Common sense says no. Common sense says no. So all of y'all that say, hey, I don't need to be governed by God. I don't need to govern my life by the scriptures, to live by the word, to have purposeful application. No woman on this planet should submit to you. She can choose to, if she want to, that's her choice. If she want to submit to a man that is not submitted to God, I wouldn't suggest it, because there's nothing to uphold him to the standard that will help govern your entire lives. Because we are not inherently good ourselves. We don't just do good. We aren't just disciplined like we're just these good disciplined beings without a governor. We can be good and disciplined because we have something to hold us to that standard. So if he has nothing to hold him to that standard, he's the God of his world. You tell him, oh no, you could take that right over there somewhere else. It don't work over to me. I need someone that demonstrate authentic leadership and submission. I need to see it from you so I can learn how to do it the right way. I want to learn from you, big dog. That's what the women should be saying. Show it to me. Show me what submission looks like. Show me what cooperation looks like. Show me what accountability and responsibility looks like. Show me what you got integrity. Show me what it looks like. Show me you can do the right thing even when I'm not around. How about that? And if you can do that, I'll follow you anywhere you go. Tell them that, ladies. But if you can't, then I will have nothing to do with you. Why? Because you don't represent the God that I follow, that I love. My Father. That's right, Brother Bryant. Exactly. We want a Proverbs 31 woman without being a Psalms 1 through 3 man. Follow me as I follow Christ. Exactly. Anything without that order, ladies, do not mess with it at all. Don't mess with it. Do not mess with it. If he did not love God and he is not fully submit to everything that God says, once again, I just showed it to you in real time. I came on here in my spiel, aggravated, saying a whole bunch of, ill-advised words. And then what God did? Sent one of his sons, sent one of my brothers in here to say, hey, I got you. We're listening. But let's make sure, remember, we're supposed to be giving God the glory. It's not about you. Make sure he gets the glory out of it. And he can't get the glory if you're using those words. What did I do? Make an excuse, or did I clean it straight up? What did I do? Make an excuse, or did I hold myself and allow my brother to hold me accountable? What did I do? Make an excuse, or did I become the change that I want to see? And remove my coarse words and gestures. You see that? That's how it's supposed to be. It's very easy when you're submitted to something else. Because I have fully, sincerely given my life completely to God. That doesn't mean I won't err. That doesn't mean I won't stumble. That doesn't mean I won't fall. That means I know where my help comes from. I know who loves me. I know where my comfort is. I know the person that preserves my soul. I know the person that speaks through me. I know the person's words that I read daily that fortifies me, that I'm using to speak life into my son. I know the undisputed, undefeated champion of the universe, champion of all creation, who I serve and I am a son to through adoption. I know the person that I serve when it says, when God is for you, who can be against you? I know the person I worship that tells me no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Any tongue that rises up against me shall return to the sender. The person who predestined me for him, he said, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. That's who I serve. And as long as I am submitted, as long as I serve, I worship, I praise, I read, I speak, I pick up my cross daily. I'm dying to myself daily, losing my life so I can gain it. I will continue to move forward and become greater than myself because I live for something greater than me. That's right, Brother Bryant. That's right. We know who we serve. We know who our first love is. And see, when people, they like to come when you in your shortcomings, when you in your trial periods, they want to try to look down upon you when they haven't done the due diligence of just submission, of just opening the door to, the wanderer, the king that knocks on the door of your heart and allowing him to come inside and you guys have dinner and have a conversation. And then you let him take the master suite in your house. And he now dwells inside you. You haven't even took the first step about doing that. Giving him the rightful place and the key of your heart in your whole life. I give myself away so you can use me. That's what it's supposed to be about. Have you at least done that? If you haven't done that, you can't speak on my transition. For I know what my Father says. I know what my God says. And just like Bryant just said, what did Brother Bryant say? We all fall short at times, but we get up again. What's that? What's that song? We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. For a saint is just a sinner who fell down, but then got up. How about that now? For I know in my Father's word, Proverbs 24:16, for a just man falleth 7 times and rise up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. You see that? Do you hear that? For we know we serve a risen Savior. We serve a God like no other. We serve a God who is impossible with us, with what is impossible with man is always possible with him. We can trust in him. We are captivated by his majesty. We are kept in place and comforted by his love. We are in awe by his power, his might. And we that are in the faith and faithful, we don't operate in fear. Because we know that our Father does not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. That's who we serve. Who are you submitted to? Who are you submitted to that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God? Who do you serve that give you life by their mere words? That when you were in the midst of the valley of dry bones, that his spirit spoke into you and then your bones came back together. The sinew came back together. The ligaments, the tissue, the meat, the muscle. The lungs filled up with the breath of life and you became living again. And not only have you been restored, but you have been fortified better because you have been transformed by the renewing of your mind. Who do you serve that can do that? Huh? You tell me. Don't tell another woman to do a daggone thing if you don't serve a God like that. You don't have nothing to do with her. You have nothing good for her. No good. You want her for yourself. You're selfish. You don't want her to do good for herself, to honor her father, to honor something greater than herself. So her life here now and the life after can be preserved. You don't want her to choose a straight and narrow path. Like you said, she don't have nothing else to offer but her behind. And you think she's supposed to listen to you? For what? You have no good for her at all. None. You're not trying to tell her to get out of her calamity for her sake. Because her father loves her. And he knows that she's greater than what she is allowed to succumb herself to. Her choices, her behaviors. Because he don't see her how she is. He see her as what he created her for. Are you telling her that? Are you speaking life to her in that? No, you're not. So don't talk no more about no black women did anything. You're the problem. And most importantly, you have failed the brethren that you so-called speaking for. You have led them astray. You have led them to the ditch. The blind shall lead the blind, and both shall fall into the ditch. And how dare you be that selfish, that your ignorance, that you dwell in divorce, you dwell in loneliness, and you want to lead other men to that lonely state? Without the love in the bosom of a woman? Oh, you're surely going to pay for that.
You're surely going to pay for that, for what you have done here. Oh, no. Please believe me, you're going to pay for misleading many. Each one of those souls, each one of those accounts that you have meddled in, messed up homes, minds, relationships, because you don't know what your words are doing out here. That's why it says, be careful in your much speaking. Be not many of us teachers, for we shall be held with a greater condemnation than others. I think that's James 3:1. We know better than becoming teachers because we're going to get in trouble. If any of the people that's taking hold to our counsel, our words, our speech, you can't just go around here and say anything. Oh, I didn't know that person was going to respond to his wife like that, his children like that. I didn't know that relationship was going to get divorced. I know, that I meddled in God's affair, and he really had, a purpose for that man getting with that woman. And a certain type of child was supposed to come from their lineage, them coming together. See, y'all out here playing with things that you have no business touching or meddling in. Just for the adoration, the attention seeking, the pleasing people of men for a subscription, for a like, for a super chat or a cash app. What profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? That's what you are. Your investors walk around here soulless, the walking dead. And I'm going to read this one more time because we read it the other day, but I'm trying to tell you, it pertains to what we're talking about now. It pertains to what we're talking about now. Don't talk about nobody else. Don't challenge their woman to do anything that you're not willing to do. The problem is the black woman. No, the problem is the black man. And we embarrassed ourselves so bad. So bad. Not by our black counterpart of a woman, because she mops us across the floor too, but it was the white man you hate so bad. And the way he spoke about the God that we serve. He spoke about the God that loves us. He spoke about how we're supposed to love God and make his institutions our lifestyle. And you rejected it. Why? Because you're not the son of a son of light. You're the son of darkness. You're a child of the lie. Satan is your daddy. That's why you reject sound counsel. You didn't even want to hear or let him speak about what he was talking about. Why? Because inwardly your heart still can recognize the truth, and you ain't want to hear it because you would have had to admit that you are wrong. And that what? And y'all gonna hate this statement, that you need to recalibrate your system and change your mind and get your mind off of lust and replace it with the Most High God.
I'm telling you, we are a disgrace in the eyes of the Lord and to the beautiful, blessed women he has given us. You wouldn't know what to do with a decent woman. And you know what? I will. I'm not just because I'm not trying to Miss Momo. I'm not trying to embarrass you, but this was a blessed thing, my sister. I've been on here 6 years, and this is why it is hopeful because it is decent women out there. You guys just wouldn't know what to do with her, and you would mislead her if she gave you a chance. You would bring her down. We all love more love. But the reason why I have a more profound respect for her, because the answer I have asked many women, because they love to give themselves that title of Proverbs 31. And she gave me a whole bunch of platitudes of what a Proverbs 31 is, and that she believes she is one, and actually, and I said, oh, okay. So I said, you know what? Can you elaborate on that? Give me an example of what you would do for your husband. You know what she said? I would comfort him. I would love him. I would build him up. But I would use the word of God. I would use the scriptures to renew and strengthen him in his time where he's down, to encourage him. I would let him know that I'm here for him, that we're going to get through this. I would let him know that the Father he served is not going to give up on him. I will use the scriptures, the Bible, the word to pray with him, to speak life into him, to strengthen him, to build him up so he can be the man that I know he is for us and for our family. Do you hear what I'm saying? I have never, on 6 years, heard one woman that claims to be a Proverbs 31 woman say that. And you know why that's the most profound, for me, the most perfected answer? Because who do we listen to? Who are we under? Who are we guided by? Who are we supposed to represent? Christ. So how do you heal us? How do you restore us? How do you fortify us? How do you magnify us so we can ascend to greater heights and preserve our family? You give us more of Christ. That was a blessed day for me because you know why? That means there is hope. For the men that actually want decent women, they are out here. But you're not going to be able to recognize it. Why? Because you're worried about her outward adorning and not the inner man of her heart. And that's what I heard. We already know Momo is, a nice looking sister. We know that. We can see that. But what I heard was the inner man. And I couldn't believe what I heard because I've heard so many women profess I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. But I have never heard her say, basically, I'm going to give him what he needs, and that's more of Christ. So be careful what we say, be careful what we choose, be careful what we want to say that we are. Because the Bible says, try the spirit to see if it is what it says it is. And I'm so thankful for her because that let us know there's hope out here. That let us know that all women earnestly, if they are Proverbs 31, if they aren't, they're striving to be that very thing. We as men need to be making sure that we are ready to what? Be accountable and responsible for that gift of a Proverbs 31 woman, if she is that. Because why? What does the Bible say? Her price is the value of her currency. It says she is far above rubies. You got enough money, you got a big enough dowry to pay for her? If she's that? I know I don't. So since I don't have a big enough pockets for something like that, and I know I don't deserve it, I'm working on getting closer to my father. So the one that I have, I will be worthy of having a Proverbs 31 woman. Because what did it say? She will do good to her husband all the days of her life. And somebody brought up a great thing because words are important. And listen what it said, all the days of her life. That means even before, even if she's made mistakes and missteps and everything, there's no tangible, outwardly record for shame and embarrassment and disappointment to be brought to her husband. That's why we got to be cautious and stop thinking so selfishly that we can live any type of way because we're not here for ourselves. We're put here for each other. So, in closing, I'm going to say this for the last time. Those of you that's red pill, manosphere, MGTOW, any of those daggone demons, you don't speak for us that follow Christ, and you daggone sure don't speak for our sisters. You're not leaders of them. They are not to submit to you. They're not to listen to you. They are not to adhere to you in no type of way because you have no good for them at all. And if I was you, for the rest of my brothers out here that claim to be logical, intellectual men of common sense and wisdom, I for sure would stop deifying these people and take them off the pedestal of leaders if I was you, because they are daggone sure misleading you straight to the bowels of hell without question and going to leave you lonely and miserable. And then for sure, you will have no way other than to be a lover of men. And I for sure don't want that. Because I ain't loving no damn man like that. So if I was you, I'd get myself straight. All right. I'm telling you no lie. And if you want to know what sparked this live, please go to the Andrew Wilson and the Coach Greg Adams debate. And for the men that don't see what I see and on here complaining and murmuring about women, just know without a shadow of a doubt, like Maury said, you are the problem. Thank you for everyone that popped in, for liking, for commenting, for supporting, for sharing. You know, for all the people that love Christ that were in the chat. You know, Miss Tiffany, Miss Fear No Mortals, Brother Bryant, Chop, Miss Momo. I love all my sisters and brothers. We got to stick together. We got to keep promoting and magnifying God through Jesus Christ by the Holy Spirit. We at war. And it's time for us to, you know, get our zeal, be white hot, like white fire, like light, and be radicalized. I love you guys. Please pray for me as I pray for you, and get out there, love on, and with purpose. You guys have a good evening. Peace.